Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Los Angeles Chargers versus Denver Broncos. While the Broncos have been heating up, riding a 3-game winning streak, I still see this as a prime opportunity for the Chargers. They're coming off a much-needed bye week, giving them extra time to prepare and get healthy, which should provide a significant edge. When you give head coach Jim Harbaugh and defensive coordinator Jesse Minter an extra week to game plan against a rookie quarterback leading the 22nd ranked offense, averaging just 19.2 points per game, and all they have to do is cover a 3-point spread. That's an opportunity I'd take every time. Expect a low-scoring, physical showdown this Sunday afternoon. One stat that jumps out is the Broncos' tendency to turn the ball over. They've coughed it up 7 times in 5 games, averaging 1.4 giveaways per game, which is the 8th most in the NFL. Meanwhile, the Chargers have been exceptional at protecting the football, with just 0.5 turnovers per game, the second fewest in the league, trailing only the Bills, 0.4. In a game that will likely come down to fundamentals, field position, and ball control, I trust Justin Herbert far more than first-year QB Bo Nix. Pick Los Angeles Chargers minus 3 points. As for the total, I can't imagine a number low enough where I'd confidently take the over. Maybe if it was set around 30, I'd start considering it, but this game screams under from every angle. With 2 elite defenses squaring off against 2 underperforming offenses, there's no need to overthink this one. Harbaugh will undoubtedly lean heavily on the run game, as the Chargers have the second highest run play percentage in the NFL, 53%, just behind Washington, 53.5%. But both teams boast stout run defenses. Denver ranks 8th in rushing yards allowed per attempt for 0.2, while Los Angeles is even better, ranking 5th, 3.9. Neither receiving core is particularly explosive, so don't expect many big passing plays. And with both defenses ranking in the top 3 for red zone touchdown percentage, we're likely to see plenty of field goals instead of touchdowns. That's music to the ears of any underbetter. Let's sit back and enjoy watching these offenses struggle to find the end zone on Sunday. Take the under 35.5 points. Pittsburgh Steelers versus Las Vegas Raiders. Pittsburgh may have hit a rough patch recently, but this matchup presents an ideal opportunity for the Steelers to rebound against a struggling Las Vegas Raiders team. The Raiders are dealing with significant injuries, as star defensive end Max Crosby is doubtful, and both top receivers, Davante Adams and Jakobi Meyers, are sidelined. This leaves rookie quarterback Aidan O'Connell in a tough spot, forced to throw the ball without his top targets, all while facing relentless pressure from TJ Watt, who's been a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. Without their key playmakers, the Raiders' offense is likely to stall even further, especially against a Pittsburgh defense that ranks among the NFL's best at stopping the run. Vegas, which has already struggled to establish a ground game, will find it even harder to move the ball. On the flip side, the Steelers should find success pounding the rock against a vulnerable Raiders' run defense, paving the way for a much-needed win. Pick Steelers moneyline. As for the total, the under looks appealing in this game featuring 2 of the league's least productive offenses. Pittsburgh's defense is solid and should have no problem limiting a depleted Raiders squad. The Steelers, meanwhile, will likely lean on the run game, which will keep the clock moving and speed up the game. Both teams also struggle in the red zone, so expect plenty of field goals instead of touchdowns, which only adds to the case for the under. This season, Pittsburgh has hit the under in 4 of their 5 games, while Las Vegas has gone under in 3 of their 5. Take the under 36.5 points. Atlanta Falcons versus Carolina Panthers. The Atlanta Falcons are set to face off against a team grappling with a significantly depleted defensive line, one that has surrendered the highest points per game in the league. Kirk Cousins is poised to excel, much like he did last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This success isn't solely due to Atlanta's defensive weaknesses. The entire Vikings team is well rested, having not played since last Thursday. With Atlanta's struggles on defense, it wouldn't be surprising to see Chuba Hubbard exploit this vulnerability, particularly as the Falcons have allowed the 4th most rushing yards this season. The betting line currently sits low for Atlanta, but I expect it to rise above 7 points by kickoff in their favor. Pick Falcons minus 6 points. As for the total, the odds makers have presented a challenging number. Calculating the average points per game for both teams against their points allowed leads us to a projected total of around 47.4 points. However, early trends from the season provide insight into what we might expect. The Carolina Panthers have an over-under record of 4-1, indicating that they can score when needed. Meanwhile, the Falcons have been involved in close contests against strong offenses, despite their own defensive shortcomings. In this matchup, we see Atlanta facing a Panthers team that is struggling on both sides of the ball. I expect the Falcons to score at least 30 points, but the question remains, can Carolina manage to reach the end zone twice against Atlanta's defense? Given that they only managed 10 points last week against Chicago's 5th-ranked scoring defense, it's a tall order, but I believe they can find the end zone at least twice. Pick over 47 points. Detroit Lions versus Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys have managed to secure 2 consecutive victories, but let's be honest, squeaking by the Giants and Steelers doesn't exactly instill confidence. Dallas has faced significant challenges on both sides of the ball, particularly in their rushing game. Offensively, they've struggled to establish the run, while defensively, they've been equally porous, allowing an average of 135 rushing yards per game and yielding 8 rushing touchdowns. Those statistics spell trouble against a formidable Detroit Lions offense that ranks 2nd in the league for rushing yards per game and 3rd with 7 rushing touchdowns. Detroit's offensive arsenal is impressive, featuring multiple weapons that can exploit the Cowboys' weaknesses. With 3 of Dallas's linebackers nursing injuries and their defensive line lacking depth, the Lions appear to have a distinct advantage in this matchup. Given these factors, I'm taking the Detroit Lions minus 3 points. When it comes to the total, the dynamic nature of both offenses suggests a high-scoring affair. The Lions are adept at moving the ball on the ground, and with the Cowboys struggling to stop the run, I expect plenty of scoring opportunities. Therefore, I also recommend taking the over in this game. Expect an exciting contest that could see the scoreboard light up as both teams vie for supremacy. Cincinnati Bengals versus New York Giants. The Cincinnati Bengals may sit at a disappointing 1-4 this season, but don't be fooled. This team is on the brink of a breakout performance. I'm confidently taking them to cover the minus 3.5 point spread against the New York Giants in Sunday Night Football. Since Week 2, the Bengals' offense has been firing on all cylinders, consistently keeping games close and maintaining a competitive edge, with each of their losses coming within a touchdown. Averaging an impressive 32.5 points per game over their last 4 outings, it's only a matter of time before they start racking up victories, potentially by substantial margins. While the Giants have been a pleasant surprise this season, they simply lack the offensive firepower to keep pace with the Bengals' high-octane attack. Unlike their previous opponents, the Ravens, Commanders, and Chiefs, the Giants don't possess the same offensive capabilities to challenge Cincinnati's scoring prowess, especially given their struggles on defense. Prediction: Bengals minus 3.5 points. As for the total points, I'm all in on the over 47.5 in this matchup. The Bengals' offense is so explosive that it's entirely plausible they could hit 48 points on their own. Conversely, their defense has been equally porous, making it conceivable they could allow 48 points as well. Over the past 4 games, Cincinnati has scored an average of 32.5 points while allowing a staggering 32.25 points per game. Every Bengals game since Week 1 has comfortably surpassed the 47.5 point total. While the Giants' defense has shown flashes of competence, it won't be enough to slow down Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Coming off a solid 29-point performance, Daniel Jones and the Giants' offense are well-positioned to capitalize on one of the league's weakest defenses. With all these factors in play, the over 47.5 feels like the lock of the week. Expect a thrilling showdown filled with points and playmaking as both teams look to assert themselves on Sunday Night Football.